Hello Gemini and welcome to Wild Wild Westy Tarot. My name is Steve and today I will be doing for you a basic general reading for the period of the 13th of July to the 19th of July. But before I begin, I want to apologise for not getting everyone's reading out this past week. I've been struck down with technical issues and wasn't able to get the videos uploaded before more than half the week was over. Okay, without out of the way, on with the reading. Okay, cards, please show me information for the sign of Gemini for the 13th of July to the 19th of July. 5 cards on road, please. For mood, personal life, health, work, and finances for the week. Okay, so that's mood, personal life, health, work, and finances. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Fool. So with the Fool as your internal state, your internal mood, you're in a light, playful sort of mood. You're ready for adventure, and probably ready for some sort of reset in some part of your life. Maybe there's some area of your life you want to change, and you'll be in the mood for it this week. Okay, let's move on to the main reading. For your external mood, how I will see you, you have the Eight of Cups. So going back to the Fool as well in conjunction, you could playfully, easily give something up, leave somewhere, for example. So this could be, for example, moving out of the house from their parents, maybe leaving a loved one, for example. The Eight of Cups itself represents a desire to start life with a clean slate, and the Fool also it's a card that represents a new start to something. Normally, when we're making a change to something in our life, especially something as big as a move, it can be quite hard, quite challenging. But with the combination of the Eight of Cups and the Fool card, which suggests that this week, particularly, you're in a state where you can take on the challenge of changing something dramatically in your life, without too much in the way of indecision, for example. You can easily make that change without umming and ahhing over it for a long time. From your internal and external mood this week, it would suggest that big changes are afoot this week. And of course, with the Eight of Cups, cups are water, they're emotion. It could be quite an emotional time, even if you can make this change quite easily within yourself. Okay, let's move on to your personal life. Okay, we have the Four of Pentacles. It looks like you've got quite an interesting story this week. You've got, with the Four of Pentacles, the desire to protect and preserve something, whereas with the Eight of Cups, you've got the urge to actually leave something behind. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how this plays out over your reading. Looking into this a bit more deeply, you could have a situation where, because of the Four of Pentacles in your home life, your personal life, it could be the case of you're in a state where things haven't changed. They're going around in circles, they're just being preserved in their natural state, and no progression is being made. This could actually be the drive for your Eight of Cups to actually make change, make a move, and get away effectively from the stagnated state that's within the home. An alternative here could also be a case of the people around you in your home are too wrapped up in their own personal lives, their own things, and you're not getting noticed, hence a desire to maybe move away from the situation. Okay, let's see how this maybe plays out and continue the rest of the reading. Okay, so for health, we have the Death card. Not as serious as it first looks, of course. Death card would suggest some sort of change. You may urgently need to pay attention to something that's changed in your health. there may be a need to change something quite drastically in your lifestyle. There might be something that you're doing that's leading to a bad situation with regards to your health. This may be a change of diet. It could be change to your daily routine. Maybe it's a case you're not doing enough exercise, for example. Quite often with the death card, especially in health, it could be a case of the cards are warning you that you need to cut out something from your life, whether it be something from your routine, something from your diet, maybe even some sort of addiction that's going on there. You need to cut out, because ultimately it will cause you health issues going forward. And this is to prevent you from leading a normal life. So the advice of this card would be to pay attention to any symptoms that you're experiencing this week, probably more so than you would normally, just to sort of catch things at their most earliest stages. It could be something very minor, but regardless, it's always worth checking out and making sure you're on top of your health. Okay, so let's move on to work. You have Nine of Cups. So you're happy with work, everything's calm, going to plan. You can't say that you're going to see any troubles really this week with regards to work with the Nine of Clubs. The only sort of potentially negative aspect with the Nine of Clubs with regards to work might be a case if you're being a bit lazy. Mind may be elsewhere. It could be a case of you're too busy daydreaming of happier things that are going on around. But alternatively, it could even be a holiday or some sort of break from work, some sort of rest. There may even be a celebration, for example. The other part of this also could be that there's little work to do this week because it's already been completed previous times. So it may be a small amount of details to finish off to complete the project or that section of work, for example. So moving on to finances, we have the Three of Pentacles. That's a good card for finances. It shows that they're increasing. This may be salary coming in this week, for example, or alternatively, this could be like a pension, for example, or some dividends. Maybe additional money coming in from like a side hustle, for example. But generally, it's going to be definitely a positive note this week with regards to finances. That's for sure. So, to briefly overview reading, there's obviously a issue within the home life you want to get away. Definitely keep an eye out for any sort of new symptoms that are popping up with regards to your health. This could potentially be psychosomatic from this area here, from your home life and what's driving this desire to actually get away from things. With work, obviously, that looks very good in general. Obviously, very happy at work, and with finances as well, obviously looking very good. Now, let's look on to creating a card from the deck for advice. Okay, cards. For Gemini for 13th to 19th of July, can you give me one card of advice, please? Just one card of advice for Gemini, please. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. With the Wheel of Fortune, it's quite often a case of fate basically lends you a hand, drops in, changes things without your control. And with this desire of wanting to change things quite dramatically and start again from a clean slate with the Eight of Cups. With the Wheel of Fortune combined with that would suggest that this is definitely the right move to make. Obviously, fate's intervening and giving you a helping hand in this. But word of caution, of course, pay attention to things at home and especially your health as well this week. Because especially with the death card in health, it's definitely something you should really pay attention to. Because this is definitely some kind of change going on within your health. So please pay attention to that. I hope you found this reading informative and entertaining. However, remember that this is just a general reading and may not resonate with everyone. If you would like a personal reading, the email to contact me will be in the description box below this video. And please look out for my short videos in the coming days, here on YouTube and also on Instagram and in TikTok, where I'll be letting the Westies do their thing and do some readings too. For more in-depth general readings, I will be launching my Patreon service shortly, where we'll cover the topics of relationships and careers in far more detail. In addition, I'll add some bonus readings on various other topics of interest too. All the links will be in the description box in the main channel page. And please like, subscribe and comment on this video, and I hope you will pay me a visit on my next video. Until then, goodbye.